Friends, in this session I am going to talk about the factors that are considered by a credit analyst, okay, while evaluating the bonds like high yield bond, then sovereign bonds and the non-sovereign bonds. Okay, let's first see the high yield bond. High yield bonds are generally called the junk bonds, okay, and they are rated as triple B, capital B followed by double A, like this by the credit agency because of their poor performance in the industry and in the economy as a whole. Generally they have very poor cash flow and their poor management and declining industry, all these things. Okay, so the factors that has to be considered are like generally first is the liquidity. Okay, liquidity shows the what is the availability of cash for day to day operations. Okay, so the credit analyst has to see the balance sheet cash, then the debt, the credit issued, and the working capital available, and the cash flow from operations. Okay, these are couple of like cash flow position or the availability of cash that can be seen for liquidity. Okay, and second thing is that the debt structure. Okay, debt structure, generally this high yield bonds have a mix up of debt. Okay, like they have secured, they have unsecured bond, they have got senior subordinated bond, they have got subordinated bonds. Okay, so here a credit analyst has to check the leverage of at each level of debt. Okay, then only it can be evaluated where does it stand. Now the corporate structure. Okay, corporate structure, here this case, in the case of high yield bonds, they have a parent company structure. All the subsidiaries, they pay the dividend to the parent because they are junk bonds, so they have a very low cash flow and they depend fully on the this dividend for payment of the principal and the interest amount. Okay, so it has to be seen by the credit analyst very diligently whether the that the purpose has been fulfilled, because as like the amount that has been received by the parent has to be paid to the debt holders instead of giving it to the any shareholder, any equity holders. Okay, so apart from that also covenants are being seen. Covenants are generally like the restriction of the payment restriction, that is the it has to be paid to the debt holders first instead of paying it to the shareholders, and also like the secured debt amount has to be reduced. Okay, the unsecured debt holder has to ensure that the secured debt has to be reduced so that the recovery rate increases. Okay, so these are couple of covenants that has to be seen by the credit analyst. Okay, so and these are the factors that are seen in case of high yield bonds. Now we will see the sovereign bonds. Sovereign bonds are generally issued by the government, national government, and the factors that are seen by a credit analyst is the fiscal flexibility, monetary flexibility, international exposure, then the economic condition. Okay, so under economic condition it comes the how the demography is performing, then the what is the per capita income, what is the economic growth in the future. Okay, so these all things comes into the picture. Then the fiscal flexibility, whether the government is generating excess revenue and minimizing its expenditure or not to the mutual to meet the future long term goal. These things are seen. Okay, and the monetary flexibility is the short term, is the objective of the government. Okay, to meet the small economic objectives. Okay, so this is considered under monetary flexibility. And international exposure, under international exposure it is like what is the currency of the nation stand in global market, what is its reserve fund, what is the debt amount, okay, the external debt amount. These all things comes into picture. Okay, so the credit analyst has to diligently go through all this fiscal flexibility, then the monetary flexibility, then the international exposure and the economic condition to arrive at a consolidated result for the sovereign debt. And in case of non-sovereign debt, what is being seen, it is generally issued by the local government or municipality, and the debt service coverage ratio is being seen here, which is calculated by dividing the debt amount. No, it is calculated by dividing the revenue that is generated from the particular project, divided by the principal plus interest. Okay, so the higher the ratio, that means it is good, that means the principal and the interest amount can be paid from the project itself. So that is about the sovereign, non-sovereign and the high yield bonds. Okay, thank you very much.